This is the dbeaver interface, and I have connected to the local Postgres here. And if you open this, you may probably see only Postgres there. So Postgres is the default database that comes with the Postgres SQL. And for our learning purpose, I have created a new database called SuperFFGDB, which belongs to SuperFastFood Global. So you can also create a database by right click on databases, create new database, and you can give the name of the database and click OK. Now you can see your database created, and when you open this, you will see something called schemas. So schemas is like a folder inside the database. Just like how you organize your files into folders in your laptop, database organize tables into schemas. So here we will be having all our tables inside the public schema, which is the default one. So in real world projects, mostly they create multiple schemas to logically separate data by a department or a module. For example, you can see a finance schema, operation schema, marketing schema, and so on. But for this course, we will use the public schema, which is the default one. So I have already created the tables that we need. Now let us see the relationship diagram to understand how each table is connected. So right click on public, you will see something called view schema and click on this. Now the relationship diagram is opened. So this is how the tables are connected to each other. And here, if you see, each table will have something called an ID. So this ID is called the primary key. So the primary key is a unique identifier for every row in that table. Basically, no two rows can have the same primary key value. For example, the stores table has store ID as its primary key. If I open this, you can see two different IDs. The store ID 1 is Bangalore ID and store ID 2 belongs to the New York. And these IDs are unique and will never repeat. Similarly, the other tables has its own ID, and here using this ID, you can uniquely identify every record in the table. Now we will see a concept. We will see a concept of foreign key. So the foreign key is an ID that comes from one table in another. So this is a ID that create connection between two tables, right? For example, look at the customers table. It has a store ID and also a customer ID. Here, the store ID is the foreign key that points back to the stores table and tells us which store this customer has placed an order, right? Similarly, the orders table has both customer ID and store ID. Here, the customer ID tells us which customer placed the order and the store ID tells at which store. And similarly, the order items table has order ID and the product ID as foreign keys. So it tells under for each order how many products were ordered, right? And this is how relational databases work. So data is stored separately in clean organized table, and the foreign keys are the bridges that connect them. And here, this design avoids the repetition and keeps the data consistent. And we need not memorize any of this right now. As we start writing queries, you will naturally get familiar with each table and each column. And the SQL script for this data set is available in the description below. It includes the create table and insert statements. You can download it and execute it in the Postgres SQL using dbeaver and follow along with the examples throughout this series. And that brings us to the end of the first video in our SQL Fast Track series. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next video.